How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Mudblood podcast. This week's recording, I have a very special guest. And when I say a special guest, I mean a special guest. In the studio today, we have none other than the one and only Batman.
Thanks for having me.
One, two, three, four.
He's came the whole way from Gotham. He's in the studio. He's in to talk this today. Met him by random chance the other day at a birthday party. And I says, Batman, I've met you loads of times. I've seen you loads of times. I mean, there's the famous video that when I was black taxiing in the taxi, driving up the road, and I shout out the window, "Hey, Batman, are you mad?" And he shouted it back at me. And
You're mad. Yeah, something like that.
So welcome to the studio, Batman. What is the crack?
Man, absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Not only just Batman, it's the Belfast Batman. Like, if there's ever a better version of Batman, it's the Belfast one. You don't fuck with the Belfast Batman. So thank you for coming in.
It's a pleasure, man. This is like being on your favorite TV show. Yeah, I watch it every week. I'm a big fan.
Do you watch it on top of a building?
I do,
on
yeah. It's just on the bat phone, you know.
Or in the cave or whatever.
Myself and Alfred, you know, just chilling.
Is Alfred a big fan?
Yeah, he loves it. Yeah, he's a big fan of Willie Thompson. So,
oh, well, he would be with him like Alfred.
Exactly.
There's not too many in the falls.
Yeah, I'm a cross community Batman.
Oh, I know you are, but
yeah,
man, I wouldn't even ask you what side of the fence you're on, because you wear black. You know, it's a colour that
vigilante.
None of us have any of that in our thing. And do you know what? Nobody asks questions to a man in Belfast that wears the fucking mask.
You'd be surprised. Jeez, I do a lot of walking around that city centre.
Yeah. You have a lot of competition for vigilantes in Belfast.
Yeah, man, yeah. Although in the 80s and the 90s, you'll agree with this, Paddy, there was a lot more vigilantes around, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays, it's kind of frowned upon, so I had to take up the mantle, you know?
Well, that's what I thought. Like, after the Good Friday Agreement, it made sense for them to go and get you and get you then to take over the city, because like, crime was going to increase with the paramilitaries going away.
Absolutely. Had to bring somebody in.
Had to bring somebody in. No better man than Belfast Batman, do you know what I mean?
See the way like Batman doesn't kill people?
Yeah.
So then does Belfast Batman not kneecap people?
No, I don't do kneecappings. No. Severe beatings are okay, yeah. You know, depends what you've done.
Yeah, but kneecapping.
Yeah, depends what time of year, too. Like I said, I do an awful lot of walking around in the city. I know you guys touched on this on a previous podcast, how there is characters, you know, in every street or in the city center in particular, you got characters there. You got real good ones like Jelvis and stuff like that, right? You got Anna Christensen, all of those kind of crazy people all around the town. Not that they're crazy, but they're very, very good in the sense that people notice them. They become a character. And I used to do this when I very first began. I still do it now, kind of last Friday every month. I go down to Kelly Sellers, or, you know, I'll just go for a walk around the city, and people will ask for photos. I don't mind that. But yeah, I slowly started becoming one of those characters.
I was about to say.
I was like, oh no.
When you're like, there's loads of characters, and I was sitting going, you know, you're one.
Yeah, I used to walk around going, geez, these guys are real, you know. And then I'm like, gee, now I'm one of them, you know. Now I'm one of them. Yeah, but I promise I'm not crazy.
Then the guy dressed up in the suits going, there's loads of characters.
There's some characters going about that time.
And most guys, that's kind of why I'm glad I'm on here, because I get to tell people, you know, I ain't actually crazy. You know, I do run an events company. We do an awful lot of live shows. I'm a presenter. We do an awful lot of stuff, you know. But, and we have fun doing it. We have a big crew as well. It ain't just me. We got my wife's very famous for what she does. She does Elsa from Frozen.
Yeah, that's right.
My good friend Stevie, he does Freddy Krueger. He's very famous for it, you know, around the city. And depending on the time of year, we do everything from Frozen to Freddy Krueger, Beetlejuice, Transformers, the Grinch. So it's just depending on what time of year, you could be a different character, one of those weirdos in the city center, depending on what you're dressed as.
How long are you married?
You're putting me on the spot, Paddy.
Yes, roughly. Think of when the World Cup or something, an event which was close to when
it's
you got
in there.
married.
I'd say at least 12 years.
At least 12 years.
Yeah.
It must be sweet in your house because dressing up's not a fucking.
Yeah, a lot of people do ask and say I must have some stuff in the cupboard. Yeah, some different costumes, but I ain't gonna deny that. Oh, I won't deny it, but
No, it's like people would go if you're, your bedroom life, your sex life isn't great. You could dress up like your house. It just happens.
Oh yeah.
So maybe dressing down's the big thing.
Do you want to know the actual reality of that though? My wife, after 4 hours in this, she's not gonna kiss me, man. Never mind do anything else. You know, you do get like, sheesh, when we began. The worst is the over 60s. When you're getting a photograph with people, you'll probably know this too. The over 60s like a good grope.
Yeah.
They just go ahead, you know. They do, man. They grab you by the ass. They do whatever they want, and they obviously get away with it. You know, I ain't gonna complain either.
I gotta tell you something. We were somewhere one time and you were there, and a fella said to me, we were standing talking, and he was like, "You ever seen Batman doing a page?" And I was like, "No," and he was like, "Never mind."
Doing a pint.
A page.
I actually, this suit has buttons. The first one didn't.
Well, he was trying to convince me that you had a bag in.
Is that right?
And I was like, I don't think so. And he's like, I'm telling you now, Paddy go home and he empties it. And I was like,
you sweat so much you don't need to pee.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Yeah.
We done Comic Con there recently, and you spend like 8 hours in costume the whole day, not 2 days in a row.
So were you there as well, obviously as a fan, but were you there or were you working?
We were there as with the business, with lockdown events. It's what I started back in 2014. I was a chef back in the day, you know. I was a good chef too.
Yeah.
But I wanted to kind of not work weekends anymore. And I was trying to think of a business plan, maybe an eatery or small restaurant, something like that. And then I remember being at a kid's party and Mickey and Minnie Mouse were there, you know, some Mickey Mouse company. And the kids didn't believe it was real. They were just beating the hell out of them. And I just had that idea. I have a sister called Even. Shout out to Evie. She's my biggest fan. And she's 33, I guess, 34. Big comic book fan. She's got disabilities. And her favorite character is Batman. So that was a strong reason why I went for the Bat. I could have went for Spider-Man. I got a 500-pound suit. But I can't stick to walls. So that takes away the reality for the kids. So the reason I went with bats, I went, you know, he doesn't have superpowers. He's just rich. Now, I ain't rich, but I can pretend I'm rich.
Just for the DHSS purposes, it's all voluntary.
100%. Telltale. Remember those severe beatings. But I went for the Batman look, and I started researching online with a friend, and we found a couple of different ones. They were like 500, 700 quid. And I got in touch with a guy who was actually a stuntman in the actual movie. Right. And they were with Christian Bale in it. And now it was a stuntman that wore the suit that I bought, but I bought it for 3.5 G's. I went to Invest NI. I got a 1,000-pound grant. Well, I was actually meant to go to a couple of little classes, you know, to learn how to do your business plan, but I went to one. And I thought that was it. And I come back on the Friday with the business plan done, and the lady was like, okay. And on the front of the business plan was literally a picture of Batman. And that's my business plan. I want to buy a Batman suit. And the good old government were like, there's 1,000 pounds. So I had saved up a couple of grand myself over the years, and the wife wanted a holiday, and lo and behold, that money was gone. And a couple of months later, a 3.5 grand Batman suit appeared at the door. So I run over.
Who delivered it?
What?
Who delivered it?
Alfred.
I to be honest, I was in work at the time. I was working in a restaurant across the road from the street. I was living in North Belfast at the time, and the Cave Hill. And
You're giving away your location.
You know where it is, man. It's the only cave in this place.
Batman's up at the donkey's arse.
But I like when I got that thing, I done my first visit for like a tenner, and my first ever thing I done, I walked out of the house at the top of Alliance Avenue, and I walked down right through Ardoyne, through the bone, and went into I swear, man, the Batman walking through Ardoyne, I was the riskiest thing I've ever done. And
you know what? You're going to walk out of Ardoyne, and there's going to be a squad sitting in one of the estates going, Batman's a fiend.
Oh yeah, he's strolling about here.
Batman has no religion, by the way. I'm just letting you know that.
But I done the party. I was only meant to be there for like half an hour or something. I was there for like an hour and a half. You know, I still know the mom and the kids to this day, and I'll always remember those first few visits that I'd done. And They were just hilarious. Was walking around the streets, and the suit hardly even fitted me at the time. You know, I was skinny. I was like some kid dressed up. But thinking about it, but you know, 12 years later, we've done an awful lot with it. You know,
big time. I mean, as I say, that well known, going back that long. So I would say that was probably 2015.
I remember
14.
you guys shouting out of your black taxi outside Glengollen. I remember it happening.
I remember you walking up. Do you know what? Like a further road, and went, I really should have stopped and give Batman a lift.
Yeah, it was raining, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was raining.
Yeah, it was raining.
I was like, I really should have stopped and said, do you want a lift?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
But I think that was the first encounter. And then obviously I've seen you over the years at all the different events. And do you know, like even Sunday when you done the birthday party, and I was talking to Tommy about it, and he was saying, my kids aren't in, because he was saying that you were saying your wife does Elsa and whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, my girls don't like princesses. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it made sense for you to be out, but the kids loved it. Do you know what I mean?
Tommy, I've met a couple of times. He comes to the family Christmas shows that we do with the Grinch, and he's been up on stage a couple of times. He's been painted green by his kids, not by me. It's one of the games that we play.
I want to say to Tommy, I am really disappointed in you actually painting your face.
Yeah, he could paint it up. He was green, and he. To be honest, I think the first. You know what? That Grinch show is a bit of a calamity when it comes to kind of local famous guys.
Yeah.
Sean McComb, his family.
Never heard of him.
Nah, he's a good guy, but he came, and he's in the front row, and some kid was on the stage, and she had opened up this present, and she had pulled out the box, and there was another box and another one, and she's getting really annoyed. This kid's only like 5 years old, and she's waiting on this big gift. She'd won a game. She thinks it's going to be a PS5 or a trip to Disneyland. The Grinch is like, yeah, all excited. She whips it out, and it's an onion. You know, oh look who joined us! What's up, man?
It's the Joker.
The Joker himself. The kid cracks the hell up. There's like 5 big boxes on the stage. She starts booting them into the audience, cracking up. The onion gets smashed off the stage. Full on meltdown on the stage. I'm like on the mic, you know, somebody come get the kid. You know, you give it a this as the Grinch and that. Oh man, one of the best things. But one of those boxes, it flew off and it hit Sean McComb's kid, and the kid was only like 1. Yeah, it hit him on the head. And I seen Sean's face, it just went red, and I was like, I'm gonna get punched on stage. This guy's gonna go full on Will Smith. You know, he's Jesus. But no, he was cool about it. I've seen him a few times after. I'm like, you're gonna like a dig here, you know.
The other day, I came out of the house and my neighbour called me about something, and I had to run back in and get him something, and I went back into the house. So it started the car, run into the house, opened the front door, run out, give my neighbour, jumped in the car, went to the school, stopped the car, went to get out and lock it, and went, I have no keys. I have no keys. No way you can start my car without. And I was like,
say that on camera. You can start his car with no keys. Yeah.
I will like not start again if the keys
Back
aren't
in the
there.
house.
Yeah.
So I was like, what am I going to do? I had to get the kids. So I'm walking in. Sean was coming out with his kid, and I was like, are you in a hurry? And he was like, not really. And I was like, you need to run me home. And he's like, why? And I just forgot my key. We got up the house, keys were in the door and every fucking thing.
I've been there.
And he was just like, are you fucking serious? The way Sean
You should have
was
put
like,
up the bat signal. That'd help.
But know what? I left my lamp in the fucking house during the day. You wouldn't have seen it. A bad phone. Need to get a bad phone.
So you do Grinch shows at Christmas? Because I
do.
I
Yeah.
assume you're a different Grinch than the one I saw a few years ago on Facebook. Do you remember
wrecked
this?
the house
The
with Shaggle?
fuck the house up.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not.
That's not me. No, he nearly got me canceled. That guy. Jeez, I was doing house visits like booked out, man. Oh, especially over
remember that?
like when COVID was finishing. And that, you know what that guy done? He had 2 bags of like a bag of flour and a bag of sugar, and he stood in that lady's kitchen. And he just went around in circles and went all over the place. The kids were ecstatic, laughing their heads off, but she was going nuts because she put out a buffet. I had to go and visit that family like 2 weeks later to say I'm sorry. It
As a
wasn't even
Grinch?
me. You know,
As a
I
Grinch?
had to go with Grinch to go. I'm sorry for wrecking your house. You know, we got all of this, you know. But Jesus, yeah, that's not how you do entertainment. You know?
Did they ever get who that guy was?
I have no idea who it was.
You know what? He's still in business. Unfortunately, I think he does Santa visits and stuff. Yeah,
Oh, he doesn't do the Grinch anymore.
How
No, I
the
don't
fuck
think so.
did he get away with it?
I guarantee.
it's not very regulated. This
I would
entertainment
say-
industry. I'll tell you that.
I would say he's an ex-paramilitary. And he's just like, what?
It just
What?
kicked in.
As far as I know, Paddy, he was from Rathcoole.
There you go. There you go. Called it.
There's a photo of the wee kid covered in like she had these like really expensive cupcakes and he like threw them in the kid's face and then covered them in fairy liquid for some reason.
That people actually were ringing us to be like, I want to cancel my visit. They paid deposits and stuff. I was like, that ain't our Grinch. He's not gonna. He'll maybe flick a bauble off your tree and slug your kids and tell them they're getting nothing for Christmas, but that's about it. You know, they're not gonna wreck your house. But it wasn't me.
What is the maddest request you've ever had?
Geez. Apart from coming on the podcast,
Well, that's not a mad request. But
no,
what
that's
is
a brilliant request.
Is there something that you've been asked to do in the suits that you've went, no, we don't do that?
Yeah, we've been asked to do it a lot in terms of adult parties. Yeah. Just to put it out there, we don't do them. Well, we do, but at a certain thing. But no, we don't take it off. We did do a wedding before for a staff member, and we had a Spider-Man at the time called Robert, who's some dancer. And he came in as Spider-Man, but wearing a tracksuit, you know. And to be honest, the family there were very religious, you know. They wouldn't have they maybe frowned upon what was about to happen, but we were all his heroes. It was our staff member. She dresses up too, so does her husband. And we went in to just make the wedding what it was. And Robert, unannounced, starts taking it all off.
Stripped?
Full Monty.
Justice mask?
What do you call that? Jump on it. That song.
Pony.
Yeah, that's the one. Magic Mike. All over the guy. The grannies are all standing outside going, what the hell? And then from that video, we got tortured. Can you do we're having a 50 if you come dance on my friend's lap? And you're like, no. I get booked. Jeez. I get booked. What do you call that? Is it Glor Mona? The bar in Mona Bypass?
Glor Mona?
Jeez, man. I got called up there. Some lady contacted us. She was like, come and do a party for us. Said nothing. Just a party. And I'm like, it's at 7 o'clock. Why am I going to the kids' party at 7? No, it's a family get together. Okay, no worries. So I got there, and it's just a room full of women, and it's a hen do. And there's some woman. As I walk in, there's a girl sitting in the middle of the floor on a seat, just blindfolded, and I'm like, okay, that's what the hell? I ain't no dancer. I'm an entertainer, but I can't.
Rachel!
No. But yeah,
this video doesn't go anywhere. No, swear to me.
Yeah, she get grinded on anyway. But yeah, I remember
with the grinder.
Yeah, that same night, I remember coming back, and I was coming out of the bar, and we drove up that Springfield Road. We're coming up in the car, and there's a police checkpoint. I'm like, shit. Window goes down. The officer walks over, and he looks in the window. He goes, Batman, officer. He's like, where are you off to? I'm like, just fighting crime. No problem. Go ahead, man. Anywhere you go.
He didn't check your boot, the bastard.
No, he didn't check nothing.
See, if I said I'm away to fake crime, you go right open the boot, Paddy.
If it was America, I'd be whipped and arrested. You know, you don't get that here. So,
but I mean, do it dressed as Batman. Someone's going, that's all right. That's fine.
People should do that more.
I'll dress up as superheroes all the
Yeah,
time.
you might get away with it.
I've run into the cops a couple of times.
Have you ever went into the bank in Batman's?
Not the bank. No, I've been into government offices as I went as the Grinch to back up the nurses and the health service weren't getting equal pay as they were over in Scotland and England. So I went down to back those up, and they give me one of those speakerphones, and I'm outside screaming at the guy. You know, you're the Grinch. You're the real Grinch. Banging on the windows, getting into the government offices. I had the police then come down to warn me to go. You know, you need to stay away from those windows. I'm like,
did you say you got a ring?
Stop being a Grinch.
Commissioner Gordon.
Just imagine being the guy in his office, seeing the strikes, being like a lot of nurses. Is that the fucking Grinch right there?
I do an awful lot of like protests
Batman
like
or Grinch?
that.
So he was Grinch.
Yeah.
Be mad if you was Batman screaming, "You're the real Grinch." That makes no sense.
Yeah. That's the one. They had a big poster with him, and then when I wasn't able to do it the following year, so they brought a little like this huge poster, and it was me as the Grinch. And Nemon's calling out the politicians, but it almost looked like they were after me. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm the enemy now because I couldn't come the next year.
People driving past, look at him.
There he is.
That's your man.
That green fella.
That bastard there.
That green fella. There was a good time. My wife's in a band, and she was performing in a place called the Monaco, and she was doing a little gig in there. They were doing it for a breast cancer charity.
Is that down at the market?
Just out the back of
Rosemary Street.
Yeah, Rosemary Street, beside where Fresh Garbage.
Opposite Trocadero.
But she was in doing a gig. It was for breast cancer awareness. I went down as bad. I ended up getting like 3 pints. So 3 pints in. My friend rings. He says, my sister's having her 40th. You want to come up to where Haymarket is now and just make an appearance since you're in the town? I was like, yeah, let's go. So I went up there, got another 2 pints.
Batman's black.
Then I go to...
I'd imagine he'd be a sad drunk.
He'd be like, get the fuck away from me.
Do you have a moment, Dad? I don't.
Sitting outside Kelly Sellers. Yeah.
Just turns up at the Empire. There's the fucking Joker in there.
Do you ever reckon he gets drunk and tells people? I'm Batman, baby.
Absolutely. That's the best line. What do you do for a living? I'm Batman.
Oh, that's awesome.
Who can defeat that, you know? You guys are famous and all, but I can say, I'm Batman. You know?
Yeah, I see it. I'm Willie. It's not as fun. That's so good.
But yeah, it's pretty good. But that night, like I said, I was a little bit tipsy. And I walked out of Haymarket on the top of Royal Avenue. I was just crossing the road to go back to the Monaco. And I looked down the bottom of Royal Avenue, and there's like 200 kids like going nuts, throwing stuff at the cops. And the cops are then speeding away from them, driving right up Royal Avenue, and I'm in the middle of the road. So I'm standing, windy night in the winter, my cape's going like crazy behind me, and I'm just standing in the middle of the road.
The kids are like, the fucking phone Batman, the bastard.
The cops just drive straight up, headlights beaming right in front of me. The cop pulls out, he opens the door just a little bit, and he goes, what are you doing? I was like, saving the city. He goes, will you get a picture? Yeah, jump out, get a picture. He goes, where are you going? I says, Monaco Bar. And he goes, jump in the back. No, man. No, I ain't jumping in the back. You
didn't trust him enough?
Yeah, I ended up in the back anyway. They give me a lift to Monaco, and the wife and her friend Colin, they were in the car, and they just see the cops pulling up. They're like, shit, what have we done? We're parked illegally or something, and back door's open, and out that I pop out of the peeler Jeep. She's like, what the hell? It's all right, honey.
You thought all the cops got over their rag here.
So good, yeah.
I remember the time when we were playing that charity football match you were at, and it started pissing down rain, and everyone was in the stands, but you stayed on the touchline.
Oh, yeah.
Full Batman gear in the pissing rain. It was one of the coolest things ever.
It was probably really cool for him too, because it was fucking roasting in that.
Yeah, it was cooling me down, yeah. I was just glad I didn't have to run out on that pitch like you guys. You played pretty well.
I know.
Yeah, you done well that day.
I played 2 minutes.
I seen you move. I thought it was an injury.
I wasn't in the photograph for the team. I wasn't in the walkout. I wasn't in any of it. But yet they fucking got me to play the whole fucking game.
Yeah, I seen it. 3 halves. I don't know how I done that.
Yeah, I got the walkout and then was very hungover. And then someone shouted, Willie, Mark Berbatov closer. And I went, no. Is that all I have to do? Mark Berbatov? Yeah. See you later.
I played in the match that they organized the year before.
Yeah.
I know the guys very well at Tommy. Mick and Joe do great work. And they were actually coaches for my son when he was younger at a footy team. And they were really good with him. And they got me into play last year. And the guy who was marking me was the big Dutch centre back.
Yeah, Stam.
Did he not go, why are you wearing Batman suit?
He did, yeah.
Were you wearing the Batman suit?
Oh, yeah. Not for the match. I was wearing it for the warm-up, and when I kind of jogged past them. And I'm a United man, you know. These guys are particularly Big Yap was a hero of mine. And I'm jogging past him, and he clipped my heels. Tried to trip me up. Yeah. And I turned around, pointed at him. I was like, I'll get you on the pitch. He walked straight up beside me, and I've got a photo of me pointing up at him. He's like 7 foot, and I'm like giving him that, and he's like just staring out over. Jeez, I was scared.
I'm not good to focus, and I'm not good to
I think I got like 4 touches, you know?
Yeah.
100% pass completion. I was happy.
The many comments I got people, because I put the one up where I had Ryan Giggs in till the corner.
Yeah.
And the many people that send me messages going, that's Photoshop. And I'm like,
no.
If it was photoshopped, I'd have took my fucking belly out.
Was it Vittorio? He megged
Berbatov.
Literally 2 minutes before that, I took it around Berbatov at the fucking thing. And then I was like, that's going to be the shot of the day. Yeah. And then 2 minutes later, he got the ball, put us to the leg, and I went, oh, well, that's it.
Brilliant. And it was all for a good cause, too.
100%. That's what it's all about. But the funny, I was trying to play the match as serious as I could, but at the same time, I'm here to make people laugh.
Yeah.
So They scored a goal. Ryan Giggs fucking came around, fucking whatever, Stan Petrov and stuff, and they scored a goal. I went and lifted the ball. There was a kid with a burger and chips, and I says, "You eating that?" And he went, "No." And I took it off him. And I went over and stood beside Ryan Giggs and just started eating the burger and the chips. And he literally just stared at me. And I was like, please let them
He
get
probably
this
wanted
footage.
a bit.
And the fucking crowd were laughing their head off because I was just standing eating the burger. And because that's what I'm meant to be doing. Do you know what I mean? He's going, this fat bastard.
100%. When Giggsy seen me, now again, another hero of mine, but when he seen me, I don't think he knew what to do, you know? The year before, I was standing on the sideline with like Paul Parker, Brian McClare, speaking to all their families and stuff. They were really good, really nice people. They were asking about why I do this and stuff, and what the hell I was doing there. But this year, the celebrities were up a notch with Berbatov, Giggsy.
Yeah.
There were so many others, you know, as well as the team that you guys put together as well.
Giggsy's probably looking at you going, wonders you have a system.
Yeah, he probably was.
My favorite,
or a girlfriend. Yeah, he was looking after.
Out of all the celebrities, there's a comic, Tony Carroll, who was playing. And you were the person he was most excited to see.
Is that right?
So at the end of the game, everyone was coming in. Tony was like, "Good game, Berbatov. Good game, Pennant. Well played, mate." Batman! And just sprinted over to you. I was like, Tony, what the fuck are you doing?
But the interchange comes out in you, I think.
It does. It does.
Because I remember, like, when we went to Florida, to Disneyland, and I seen Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
And I lost my shit. Like, literally.
Because it's there. It's real
life.
And
she was like, oh my God. What? I run. Like, I was like, fuck. And I run. And he was just, what was that about? I went, I fucking love Big Hero 6.
And that's effectively why we started our business, the Disney effect. I don't want you to have to go, over to Florida to see what we can do.
Because not everybody can.
Yeah, anybody can. Yeah. Well, when we started, there was nobody doing what we'd done. A funny story, actually. When I began, right, I'd done my first visit, like I said, in Ardougne. I was in the library within the first 2-3 weeks of business, and I was in Belfast, just in the library promoting the business on Facebook. And up on the side of the screen popped a little message on Messenger, and it was a guy. I was obviously Belfast Batman, and up popped Belfast Spider-Man. I'm like, who the hell's this? And he says he's typing, and I'm like, oh. He goes, nice suit, Bats. Want to meet up sometime? It's like, who the hell's this? I thought I was the only guy doing this. I was really smart, you know? And I'm like, who the hell's this? And I was like, want to meet up sometime? I'm like, whereabouts? On a rooftop? And he goes, no, you dick. I know where you live. You know? Yeah, I'm like, so I'm like writing straight back. How do you know where I live? He's like, your business is on Google, you know? So I know where you live. I'll see you at 6 o'clock. So I'm at 6, sitting in the Alliance, fully decked as Batman. My door raps. I'm like, Spider-Man's at the door. Open the door, and it's just some guy called Jerry.
Not in the suit?
So some guy, he's not in the suit. Now he's laughing at me, going, what the hell are you dressed up for? I was like, I thought we were going for a pint or something, you know? He's like, let me see the suit. Get in. But he introduced me to a couple of other guys, and Big Soups, and a guy doing Captain America, Big Pete and Paul. And one of the first visits we done was to the children's ward at the hospital. I had got a call from Oscar Knox, his dad, such a lovely kid and a lovely family, and we still are very close to this day with the parents. When we met Oscar in the hospital with the other guys, he was one of the first sick kids we got to meet, you know, and it's something that when we started the business, we wanted to do as much as we can. It's not something we post about, but sadly, like 2 weeks after we had met little Oscar, he had passed away, and there was another little baby on the ward. His name was Jaden, and he was only like 2-3 months, maybe 4 months old. He was a little baby, and we knew him growing up. We spent so much time in his home, or at different events with him. He came and gave me a little gift and stuff a couple of times, and sadly, again at 6 years old, he passed away as well. And it's part. I guess it's a side of this that we have an awful lot of fun, but we do an awful lot of charitable stuff.
I think that's what people don't see.
They don't see it. Yeah,
I have seen, like, there's a guy dressed as this Batman in the States.
Yeah,
and he's got a Lamborghini.
Yeah,
you don't have a
black
Lamborghini.
one. Yeah,
and he goes and does a lot of that stuff.
I know him. He's a good guy.
But you. Like, you literally see you walking about the road.
Yeah, I have a Fiesta and a glider.
But the glider is the main thing.
Oh, hey, the glider. I guess I'm a bit like you guys. You guys like making people happy. You like, putting smiles on faces and stuff. And I guess that's why we do the charitable stuff as well. We want, obviously, kids, parents alike, to think that they're meeting the real deal. it's just like going to Disney, you know. So,
But I love that side of you where even when you were going to that party on Sunday, you came down in the glitter and walked up and the white drop,
Yeah.
you know, or came through the park. Like it's obtainable for everyone, Batman.
Yeah.
Like you don't just, it's not just a business. Like, and I think that's the bit and that people don't see from it, because you'll just be out walking about in a parade, or you'll be out. There's a lot of things you go to and that you're not there as a business. You're not.
I'm not there in a paid capacity.
No, you're just out there, and you sort of, it's accessible for everyone. Because
I mean, we do fun days all over the place for the Children's Hospice, Autism, and the main charity would be Angel Wishes, but they don't do. I met a lovely lady called Gay Care, and Gay's from Lisburn. She started a charity called Angel Wishes, and she supports children with leukemia and lots of different cancer-related illnesses. Just by providing support at Christmas for the families, they give over lots of money for the siblings and stuff as well as emotional support. And Gay herself has lost 2 of her own children too, so. Her story just captured me massively. And we started doing those house visits to kids who were currently going through treatment, kids who had successfully completed their treatment. And those are the ones that stick with you, man. You know, I kind of stopped doing birthday parties as much as I can, because especially in West Belfast, and I'm from there. So yeah, the kids can beat the hell out of you after 30 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
And then they start ripping up a 3,500 pound suit.
Yeah.
And you can't particularly just start slapping kids. So.
No.
So yeah.
I remember there's a friend of ours who actually, he's a kid's entertainer and he's a comedian as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I said to him, you know my son, we were talking earlier on about him, Paul, right? And I think it was like his 5th or 6th birthday party in the White Drug Leisure Centre, by the way. And I asked this guy, I was like, will you come over and do a bit of magic, a bit of clowning about with the kids? And he was like, yeah. And he came over and he was up and he was doing a trick and he was like, oh, Padraig, it's your birthday. And Padraig punched him in the balls.
Nice. Yeah, I've had a few of those over the years.
He literally couldn't perform anymore. And it was like he was in 2. And I was just like, fuck's sake, Padraig. You know, like,
Padraig's that kind of kid that stopped me.
He would still do that, yeah. So
I'm protected as such. I mean, again,
how long does it take to get the suit on?
Now, a couple of minutes. Yeah.
All right.
It
looks complicated. It looks like
there's a lot goes into it. If I'm honest,
it looks like
I've had a couple of suits over the years too. So
right, okay,
a couple of different ones.
Is this the original one?
No, that one is now just in the unit that doesn't get worn because it was screen used. You know,
I get you.
In the back cave.
Do you have different eras of Batman, or is it all Dark Knight Batman?
I do have the beginnings of the Patterson suit.
Okay.
I'm not big enough to do Arkham or Ben Affleck, you know, so I don't go beyond my means.
Okay, fair enough.
Christmas time, I put on a bit of weight. I can be Grinch, you know. But, Beetlejuice last year was great. Actually, this year
Beetlejuice. I seen you in a video for Comic-Con.
Yeah,
Beetlejuice.
You did, man. Yeah, that was.
And
that
then
was
there was the big
fun.
suit with the small head character. What's that?
He's called Bob. We made those ourselves.
Yeah.
A very talented guy, Stevie, that works for us. One of my good friends. He 3D printed the heads, painted them up. We bought extra large suits, put them big ass shoulders on us, and they look incredible. But yeah, we were dancing with like lots of celebrities. That's the aura that the group that we have that creates. There's a lot of companies out there that do what we do in terms of being a walk around character. You can come out and stand there, give high fives to kids, or you can come out and actually do some exercise like I did at the party, or the girls will do an awful lot of singing. They're very talented. So we prefer to do something when we're there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the main thing with us is the entertainment section of it, you know.
How long did it take you to get the accent right?
This is a craft. I can do Batman, but keeping that up for a couple of hours, you know. Batman, justice, giving it all of that. When I began, I was doing it, and I started losing my voice, so this is the Bruce Wayne voice. That's what you get, you know.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
So I've been at a few parties where I do that voice for like a couple of hours, and then by the end of it, it's just...
Well, listen, I seen you in
I
your
don't think
bat
it's
suit,
the
man.
voice, it's the parties it's doing the dummies too.
yeah.
Willie does a good Bane.
Did he not do Robin? Was that you?
No, it wasn't
He dressed
Robin.
as
He did
Robin
dress
when
as
he
Robin.
done
Eminem, that's right.
Yeah, Eminem, yeah.
Yes,
that
I
was
forgot
really
about
good, man.
I forgot about that.
Do you still have the Robin?
Were you there?
No, I was just I
seen the videos?
was doing a bit of resuch, looking at Sidekick. He was considered.
Yeah.
You could definitely do something if you've still got the Robin.
Can I be
I
the
might still
Joker?
have it.
Yeah, I've got the costume.
That makes sense about making fit on it.
Do your Freddie Mercury, and you'd just be a great penguin. Sensational.
That's something like what growing up, I wasn't an actor. I was a chef. I had no singing experience, anything like that. It was when I met my wife, and she was an entertainer. She was a singer. And kind of, I guess, brought it out of me, Even doing Grinch and Beetlejuice and stuff, you just sit in the house and you watch the videos and you repeat it to yourself. My kids all think I'm nuts.
What's your favorite character?
Probably Grinch. Yeah, I have an awful lot of fun doing that. Telling kids they're getting nothing for Christmas. There's nothing like that.
Yeah, because you can kind of be a little bit of a bollocks.
Yeah.
But that's the character. It's not like you can't be mean as Batman. You can't break a child's hope. But as the Grinch, I
can be grumpy as this, but
yeah.
Even Beetlejuice is the same. You can be a little bit tedious with that. You can have a lot of laughs, A lot of our guys, like I said, when they go into costume, they just take on the role of the character. We've had very serious people. Geez, I'm going to tell this one. With a guy who'd done Captain America for us, right? And he was just a geek in general, but his voice, he was American, although he was from like Ballybean or something. Right? He was
Captain Ballybean.
Captain here. And he wore red, white, and blue, man. He wore red, white, and blue. But he messaged me one day. He said, I got a new suit. He'd been doing parties for a couple of months. And he said, I got a new suit. I got Black Panther. And I said, yeah, no, excellent. No laughing. So he got this suit. And he comes down. He's got this very righteous voice as Captain America. I'm Captain America. I do the right things and all of this. But I'm meeting him. We're outside Schenkel Leisure Center. We're about to go in to do a party.
Well, do you know what? He would have been better wearing Captain America there.
I know.
All the colours. Well, he would have looked like a curbstone.
The thing is, he comes up to me and he's walking across the car park, and the costume looks amazing. He looks really good. The guy's really fit, He comes walking over, and I'm at the boot of the Batmobile and getting ready.
The Bat Fiesta.
I think it was a little Golf at the time, but yeah, I was getting ready out the back of the Batmobile, and he comes over and he's like, "Hey, Batman!" And I was like, "What the hell's that?" And he looks at it. It's the ethos of the business. You be the character. You make it as real as possible. So he's like using the same Captain America voice. I was like, "Man, you're gonna have to speak like Black Panther." He's like, "That's racist, bro." And I said, "It's not racist. You're just portraying an accent. Nobody's saying that you're black. It's like doing a Scottish accent or a down south accent. It's whatever you want to. I don't think it's racist."
Get this man a shield.
I totally agree with Batman.
It ain't racist. I've checked this out. I don't think it's racist. But anyway, so he says to me, "What way do you want me to talk, bro?" I'm like, "I am the Black Panther. My name is T'Challa. Put an effort into it." Be the guy. He's covered head to toe. Nobody knows he's a white guy.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I G'd him up. It took about 20 minutes. The guy's rehearsing these words. Man, T'Challa. Okay. And he's giving it this. He G's himself up. He walks into the party, and the whole party's full of black guys, black people. So his nerves just went boom and shot. This little tiny kid comes walking up, fully decked as Black Panther. And he walks up like meeting the best moment of this kid's life. And he walks up to the Black Panther, and he's like, "T'Challa, thanks for coming to my party." And Big Johnny leans down beside him, and he's like, "Hello, my child." It was like the worst accent you could ever have got. I swear to God, the worst. And even the parents were laughing. They knew he was white from the first word. They knew it. I'm laughing. They're laughing. The only one's not laughing is Black Panther and that kid, because that kid's going, "That ain't Black Panther." Oh, man. So good. But yeah, it ain't racist. I don't think it ain't.
I mean, when you play Santa, you don't go, "Ho, ho, ho, Merry Christmas."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You go, "Ho, ho, ho."
I had a Santa before, and he was doing the Belfast
He was
accent.
doing the Black Panther voice.
Do you want
Black Santa. Yeah.
I have got that big bag of toys.
So Santa comes in, and he's doing his Belfast accent to the kid. What are you getting for Christmas, kid? One of those ones. I do a pretty good accent. "What are you getting for Christmas, kid?" And I'm like, the kid goes away, and I go, "Hey, man, you're going to have to be more Santa." He's like, "Well, what way Santa?" I'm like, "He's American or something. English, do something." He's like, "Who says he's American?" I'm like, "Coca-Cola. Let me do it."
Yeah.
So he's now doing those accents. Well, he doesn't work for me anymore. He ain't good enough. But,
The Belfast Santa, fuck
Yeah.
you.
Mayor said,
it's one of the worst things you could do. You know, we got.
No, I get it. I fucking get it, and I love
You
the fact
put
that-
all that effort into having a good costume, and then you get nothing out of it. You know.
Yeah.
You want the kid to believe you're real, and that's the main thing. The girls is what's brilliant about our girls. We do a big princess show, and our girls, we've like 16, 17 girls on our list. They're really, really talented. Every one of them can sing live. It's really, really good. And when they are princesses, they're all beautifully spoken, very well presented. They come out backstage once it's over. They're like, bye, everybody. See, once that door closes, the wig comes off. It's like, dog's sick. They turn into those, not all of them, because some of them are from Carrickfergus. They're very well spoken anyway.
Fuck me.
Get the Benson Hedges out. You know?
Kids,
Who's got the vodka? No, but it's just.
Shut up! Been at kids' parties, the where they'll have like a Princess Jasmine or whatever, and even as a grown man, I'm like, "Hello, princess!" Like you do buy into it when it is really good.
Yeah. Well, you have to be careful with that as well. You get so many places that we go to, and depending on what you're dressed as, you get an awful lot of inappropriateness. And one of those best ones happened in a place called the New Lodge, right?
Yeah.
One of the first parties I sent a guy called Jerry to. He was doing Spider-Man for me. Good friend of mine. Jerry he was booked. He just normal party booking. Just go to the party. And it was one of those skinny houses. So when you walk in the door, the mom stood up against the living room where the kids were. She goes, go into the kitchen, get the cake. So he walks straight into the kitchen to get the cake. The door closes behind him. There's 3 women in the kitchen. One stands at the back door and says, you're not getting out until we get a good grope at you. And he's standing there, skin tight, lycra suit. He's built like a tank, six pack and everything. You know, this guy can do backflips. He's good at what he does.
Yeah.
But he's like surrounded by 3 women wanting a good grope at him. He's a married man. He's like, no, get out of here.
Yeah.
A couple of Hallions from New Lodge too. So he wasn't too interested. You know? So he's like, what's going on? They grope the life out of that guy. He came to me after. He says, never again. I ain't going to the New Lodge. You know, and that's a male. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That has
Things can
happened to
Maybe they were
us.
trying to get a wee bit of his way about him.
I'm pretty sure they were. Yeah.
Yeah. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but
Here's
just not
Spider-Man.
New
Yeah.
Lodge.
Here's
It
Spider-Man.
doesn't do New Lodge anymore. Yeah.
Rihanna fucking done the New Lodge.
That's
I think it was
Spider-Man.
might have been just after she was there. Well,
Maybe it was Rihanna.
Yeah. Maybe it was.
Yeah.
But that's like I was saying about the grannies and stuff. They just take a grope whenever they feel like they want to.
It's always drunk, middle-aged, and up women are
Yeah.
they're like the wildest for
Yeah.
just grabbing you.
They
Like,
just
Men
do
can
it for
be
free.
weird too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Men can be weird too.
oh yeah.
That's why, all the men can be very, very weird. I've had a lot of incidents where I've had to step in where the princesses are involved, you know. I mean, we're there for the kids, you know. We could be doing outdoor events where maybe a staff member is doing a walk around and they're on their own, and then they come to you and they be like, look, I've just had something very inappropriate happen. And when they come in, they tell Batman, and I get quite angry.
Yeah.
I ain't going to go confront you, you know. We were at Culture Night, for example. We went, not this year, this is like 7 years ago. We were at Culture Night. And I went for a drink with Freddy Krueger, Deadpool, and Captain America, right? All good suits, every one of us. We went from Kelly's right round. We ended up Northern Wig and ended up outside Ollie's, right? We're all standing, everybody.
But you at least done that, Jen.
We get pictures. We get free beers everywhere we're getting. Ollie's, they're wild. I was a bouncer in there one night. But anyway. I was just standing. I was getting a photograph, and someone out of nowhere just come running past, hit me a big dig in the back of the head, just bang like that. And I was, what the hell? I seen this guy running, so boom, I took after him. Boom, bolt mouth. Come here, where is he? The guy's running, and I swear this guy is nearly crying. You know, to the point. Like if you have a dream and you're getting chased and your legs don't work, that's what was happening to this guy. He just lost his balance. He fell, nearly hit his head off a bus stop. I gripped him up off the ground, threw him against said bus stop with my wrist like this. So this is against his neck. What do you do that for? Give him the LS. And the guy's like, I'm sorry, Batman. I'm sorry. Next thing, Captain America runs around, Freddy Krueger and all runs around the corner. Hey, give it all this. The guy is shitting himself. You know? He's like, what the hell is going on? He's on some mad shrooms that night. You know, Jesus.
I remember working in the taxi. I had the big bus, and I was working at Halloween, and fucking the bus was the most requested thing that night. So we were fucking non-stop. Obviously, people moving about parties with their kids and all that there. So this guy was like, listen, you have to go down and pick a few fucking fellas up. I know them. And then get straight back up the road because you have to do at house that you drop the family.
Yeah.
You have to go and get the Emmons again. He says, now the Emmons that's at that you're picking up in the town. He says, make sure you don't rack the bus on me. And they phone me, like, where are you? And I says, I'm currently watching Buzz Lightyear beat the bollocks clean out of fucking Popeye. He was like, put them on the phone. And I was like, I already know who it is because I fucking know what costumes they're wearing. It was his mates.
Brilliant.
But they were all fighting each other outside the fucking bar because they could put out.
That's like a Halloween night that people have once a year. Those nights I have all year round.
Yes.
Yeah. It's very surreal. I will say, just being and especially being a different character, and the fact that people think you're nuts. Like I was touching on the characters in the city center.
Is there anywhere ever said you can't come in?
Yeah, I'm not allowed in East Belfast. Apparently,
What?
I was stopped. I done an Irish language march. I'm an Irish speaker, and I'm very proud to be one. My kids go to school. It's not a political thing.
Yeah.
It's a language act that was agreed on many years ago and has still not been upheld. And the likes of Gerard Lafargue and the movement behind that, I've supported from day one. I think the first year I was in Batman, I done a parade up there, and we do the likes of the Fila and stuff. But we done the Irish language parades. I think I remember Neil Delamere speaking about it before on his TV show, and he's like, Batman was at the Irish language parade. You know, he wears black. Wears a mask. He's a vigilante. He's definitely a Republican. I think he said something like that. But I'm very much for both sides and stuff. But in that Irish language parade, some of the worst stick that I've ever gotten. We got up the top of Castle Street, making our way to City Hall, and we had the flag brigade waiting on us, and they were all giving it stacks, and they were screaming at kids, man. These kids are out there just wanting to speak their own language, man, and these grown ass men are all giving them abuse. And I just lost my temper. I was like, hey, give it a, started pointing out here. Was F you, Batman, you fiend, give it a disc.
Call him Batman a fiend's mental.
Yeah, I was fiending Batman. So from that day, I got abuse. Like, geez, I went and done a birthday party a few weeks later. And then on my older page, I used to have a Dark Knight page, and I lost it. But on there, I got a message shortly after I'd done that kid's party, and it was a very, very loyalist spot. And they must have obviously caught wind that it was me. One of those guys might have been at that rally. And I got a message to the page saying, you're not welcome in East Belfast. Don't be coming back in here. You're not safe.
Ah, fuck, I can't do
I was there 2 weeks later.
Yeah, I'll do now.
Yeah, I was there maybe 4 weeks later, carrying a 6-year-old to his final resting place. So there's things that won't stop us doing what we do. And you'll get stick. You get trolls. You get a lot of that, but we don't pay attention.
Yeah.
We run a successful business, and what we do on the side is what we like doing. It's our hobby. I love going to Kelly Cellars and sitting with tourists. And like I was saying to you, Paddy, at the party the other day, I was sitting. It was Batman Day on the 20th of September, and I went in I usually am there celebrating the whole day, just getting photos with the public. But this year I didn't have the time. I went to Kelly's. Straight in, the guys know Hop House 13, set it up for the Batman. Went down the hatch, out with the second one. And was sitting with a group of Americans. They were from Massachusetts, and I was speaking with them, God, for about 40 minutes, man. Just, where are you from, Batman? What made you start this? And when did you move over from America and stuff like that? And I was giving it the whole conversation with it. And they were totally, whereabouts is Gotham? And I'm like, it's just north of Massachusetts. And the guy's like, no way, we're from Massachusetts. No, man. Okay, yeah. Gotham's just north of there, and they're totally taking it in, And 40 minutes after, I'm like, finished my pint, and I'm like, okay, see you later, folks. In the normal accent, they're like, what the he's from here? And it's that kind of thing. I just making people laugh, and that whole experience for me, that whole conversation just enhances my acting ability and my accent and stuff, So
I keep forgetting you're not legitimately Batman.
Yeah, it can be surreal. There's even a lot of kids. I went to the Devonish for a pint with the boys the other week, and there's this guy. He's just having.
Do you ever sit with your friends and they go, See, for once, can you just come out without the Batman?
He comes out as the Grinch. We're like, it's not what my man.
In all fairness, my friends don't even. They come to my shows and stuff, but it's the ones with the younger kids. But none of them really say anything about it. I mean,
Yeah.
When it began, they didn't really rip at me either. It was more, "Can I try your suit on? Let me try the mask." You know?
I think the inner child in you comes out.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. I mean,
the inner kid in me, my mom always says this to me. She said, when you were younger, you always wanted to be one of two things. One was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and the second was a Pokemon. So I've been a turtle. We've had the suits. So that's ticked off the list. But I'm going to get a Poke fan sooner or later.
Yeah.
Yeah, but dressing up as a kid, like I remember like being 10, running around Twinbrook with a turtle shell on my back, trying to ninja kick my enemy, at the time. I got the shit kicked out of me.
Roughly 1980.
I'm 1984, I was born.
Right, so you're 4 years younger than me. So you're in there, and the Turtles was like massive.
Yeah, they were.
Like, people have no idea.
I heard how excited you got when he said Ninja Turtle.
Oh,
you
fuck.
literally went.
Literally, like, it was.
Who was your favorite, though? Maggie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a Raphael guy. But
Raphael was red.
Yeah.
And had the wee space.
What's Donatello purple?
Donatello's purple.
He's a smart guy. I like Donnie, too.
I like Donatello.
But
we had a Leonardo suit, the Donatello, and the Michelangelo before, and we've done a couple of skits. We've done a couple of adverts where we were like in the sewers and stuff, and they're on YouTube. They're very, very good.
Fuck,
but
that's so good.
even the horror stuff that we do, man, like we do stuff like you can phone us and we can send out Freddy Krueger to come scare your friend, your missus, your granny. I don't care, as long as they sign a disclaimer and they're not going to have a heart attack. We can go out and do that. We set it up with GoPro cameras where we get Michael Myers to be out the back garden, Jason, Pennywise the Clown, stuff like that. We've been doing it for years. We take over schools. Like we took over the Irish school, and we took over another one called St. Gemma's in North Belfast. And it was a closed school. It had been closed for like 5 years. There was cages on the hallways, on the windows. Windows were smashed, dripping all through the place. And we took over it with our horror people. And there was like 20 staged spots where you could go into, like all movie related, the worst of the worst horror movies. Exorcist on a moving bed. Yeah. Stuff like that, scaring the shit out of people. It was over 16s only. We've done Colin Glen Forest as well. We're doing it again this year. But it's in this community, there's so many things that happen, especially with a wider community. We get booked to do so much stuff in South and North Belfast, the community in the community centers in East Belfast, like Inverray and stuff like that. We do an awful lot of Christmas events, and you get to see the wider community and all of its glory, I guess, without any hatred, without any animosity between groups or sides. You get to see an awful lot of that, which is good. The likes of Tammy's football game. I mean, that was a big mixture of both communities, which is great to see. And I suppose our business is like that. We have a lot of Protestants, a lot of Catholics, a lot of people from different countries as well. Our princesses are all like, ethnically correct.
Yeah.
So
unlike Black Mom.
ethnically correct. Unlike a Black Panther. But yeah, it's good. It's good that we have
Did the kid go, "You are the White Panther"? Can I just say?
Yeah. In all fairness, the next time he's ever going to do it, he's wearing a white suit. Yeah, he's got to. But yeah, no.
It's like whenever Mars brought out the limited edition one. Do you remember the white Mars bar?
Oh yeah.
That just looked like a turd from the 80s.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like a white dog.
But see the turtles thing, I was like fucking so into them, right? And my uncle Kieran was really into his bodybuilding, but he was tiny, right? And him and his friends done the turtles. And my ma and my aunt Josie, they're fucking costume makers. So they made the costumes. And then I remember we went down, and it's where McGranagan's was in Andytown. Used to be a big pizza place, and we didn't get the boxes and all for them. And I remember when they came out of the house, and it was in Lanadoon, and the whole fucking area was like, oh my, because they were so good. And they were going to a fancy dress competition in the Lamderg, but they came out as the fucking turtles. And I remember fucking all the kids in the street going, "Your uncle's a fucking turtle." And I was like, I know, I come here on the skateboard and all fucking, I love the turtles. Like, and it was just, then they came back later on that night, and they had been in a fight and they busted noses and all, and I was like, "And did you win?" And he was like, "No, I got my bollocks knocked out." I was like, "But you're a turtle, fucking hard."
Yeah.
But as a kid, that was the first
It's
real
the best thing.
Because I remember then asking my ma to get me a Batman costume.
Yeah.
And she went down
a
in the
black
Costco.
bag and
She went down in the Costco because she did only get a fucking. And I remember she was like, "No, they didn't have your size." And I was like, "What about the Joker?" She's like, "No, it didn't have a Joker size in it." And I was like, "Well, what am I going as?" And she was like, "I got vampire blood." And
the classic.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I don't want to fucking do this. This is what
Yeah. I
everybody
want to be a
does.
real one.
I wanted like a proper costume. It's like I want to do it. So like when we done the singing last year,
Yeah.
I was like, if I'm doing the Prodigy because I love the Prodigy, I'm fucking doing it. And I went all out, like paid fucking 170 quid for the fucking a jumper, which is the fucking authentic jumper. Same company that got him his one and fucking trousers. You didn't need to maybe go to that, but I was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
Right?
you have
Well,
to,
there's
right?
not more in Halloween than the dick who doesn't dress up. Or just has just no.
As if you're going to a fancy dress thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You're a
Yeah,
dick
you
if you
have to
don't
dress it.
give it a go.
Yeah.
Did they ever in your organization, does anyone ever do the villains? Or is
Oh
it
yeah,
only
yeah.
yeah?
When we began, there's an awful lot of cosplayers in
Yeah.
this city and beyond, you know, and they do an awful great job of making their own suits and stuff. You would have seen an awful lot of them in the cosplay video from Comic-Con as Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
We were dancing with the Grand Theft Auto voice actors and the guy from Police Academy that does all
Winslow?
the noises, Winslow.
Michael Winslow, yeah.
Jesus, man, they're so good, and it's kind of a thing, I guess. The reason we started was to try and make it as real as possible, and that effect happens with the kids immediately. But it also happens with like 90% of adults. They'll be like, "Geez, man, give us a photo with you." You know, I've never seen something like that before.
Yeah.
We've got big dinosaurs and stuff. People will always stop, but when we went down. When we do Comic-Con, we always see that the celebrities, normally you have to pay those guys to get a photo, you know? So when they come up to me, they'll be like, "Hey, Batman, can I get a photo?" You know, you're a wrestling fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
Or Mankind.
Oh yeah.
Mick
Foley, yeah.
He was here last year.
Holy
And
shit.
Jake the Snake was here. You shit. No, he wasn't. Was he?
This year was Jake the Snake or something like that.
Was Jake
Yeah.
the Snake? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
think it
Jake
was
Yeah, it was a
Kurt
couple of
Angle,
other
I
ones.
think it was as well.
Stratus,
Trish
I think,
Stratus,
was here
yeah.
as well. But last year, Mankind was there, and I would have watched it back in the day, but I wouldn't have been into it now, you know.
Yeah.
But I noticed him; he would have been as much as the Undertaker. He was a good.
He's a guy that
one of the
even if you
guys.
don't watch it, you know who he is.
He's a crazy guy.
Yeah.
But I walked past him as a Grinch, and I'd seen him on the Saturday, and he was like, "Wow," pointing at me as bats. And then on a Sunday, I done Grinch. And as I was walking past, I was like the kid, you know, high five. And the kid went to high five me, and I pulled my hand away and started laughing. The guy behind the desk, he's like, yeah, give me that guy. And he's like calling me over, and he's wearing a shirt, and the shirt is a comic book strip with a Grinch on it. He's like, "I'm the Grinch's biggest fan." Man, he's standing talking to me for like 30 minutes. He had a queue of people waiting to sign his stuff and give him money, and he's like, "No, I'm talking to the Grinch." You know? He was loving it. One of the best times. I met the whole cast there was a series called Gotham.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it was a very good series, and I'm a big fan of everything Batman, obviously. But we went to the con, and Alfred, who was there, the Batman guy, we had the Penguin, who was there as well. We get to meet all them, but you just walk past these guys in your suit. If you didn't have as much effort in the suit, they're not going to stop you. They're not going to stop a normal cosplay person.
Yeah.
But if you have an aura about you and you're doing something, they're going to come up and want to meet you. You know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a confidence thing as well. When we put on these suits, I mean, I can very easily in the morning get up really grumpy and not be in the mood for this, and put on a mask and I can become Batman.
Isn't it mad now that like where the Comic-Con is out with the maze and the long case bus?
Yeah.
So like it
We're all
went from
prisoners.
having loads of real mad characters.
Run the
And
ballot.
the
We're well
night
suited
from
for
the
it, yeah,
thing.
big time. The Icon Center's quite big too. I mean, they've had some really good guests. They had like Lord of the Rings last year. They had Sam Wise and Frodo.
Yeah.
Well, this year they had Back to the Future. They had
They
Chris
did
Lloyd,
the
and
doc
he went
himself.
till the actual.
Yeah,
I need to go.
They had the big train and stuff come in. I was
Every
there.
year, and I go, fuck, I really need to bring.
Yeah,
kids
you got to
that.
come.
Oh.
We actually have one of the biggest stands at lockdown events. We dinosaurs, princesses, superheroes, and then Freddy Krueger's got his own setup. We do an awful.
If I do the Joker next year, can I go?
You can absolutely come along. Comic-Con's about having fun. See, if you come to Comic-Con a bit like Halloween, if you come there and you don't dress up, you're being a bit of a
Yeah. I need to go. I fucking love to go to
What would you
Comic-Con.
go
It's just a good atmosphere, man.
What would I go as? Heath Ledger Joker, it would have to be.
That's it.
We can't both go as that then. Both of us doing the impression
podcast.
for an hour.
We'll do the podcast at the actual thing.
Well, we got to
That'd
do
be
some
great.
kind of skit with you, and we'll do some kind of skit, and you guys can be bad guys.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
it can be Joker. You
Well,
can be
do you know what?
Two-Face.
I'll let you do. You could be Unbreakable.
What? What's that?
Fucking
Mr. Glass?
Morgan
Yeah, Mr.
Freeman.
Glass.
Oh, fuck that. No.
That's the
I
one.
was joking.
No, I know. No, and honestly, I'm only like, it's not the villain I want to be. Fuck off. I'm someone else.
It's not
You could be Joker. I could be
The nerd in me's
I'll
coming
do-
out. I'm like, he sucks. No.
Yeah, would I be big enough to do Bane? Probably not.
Oh
He's
yeah.
quite tall, is he?
Yeah.
No,
You can do
Willie
Bane.
has to be Bane. Do your Bane voice.
I can do Bane. What do you want me to say?
I don't know. Say something to Batman.
I was wondering what would break first. Your mind or your body? Not bad, man.
It's not very good.
I think it's good.
Do you know what's?
I'm only kidding. That was excellent.
Do you know what one of the best ones is? Have you seen it where they put like a traveler's call out video over the top of Bane?
Oh yeah, man. I have me in stitches. Yeah.
It's the timing of it and all too.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I'm letting you know.
We had a Bane before, like when we started doing this in 2014. There was a lot of ones. We had a Penguin, we had a Catwoman,
You could do
Poison
Penguin.
Ivy. We had so
could do
many
Penguin.
ones there.
You could do
Harley
Penguin.
Quinn, with all of them, like Scarecrow. We had a good bunch, you know. And people just
Scarecrow's
lose
dope.
interest in, or the costume breaks or whatever, you know. And but there's, like I said, cosplay wise, you could probably come
What
up with
Scarecrow?
anything.
What Scarecrow did he do? What iteration? Arkham?
Arkham, yeah.
Ah, it's dope.
The Arkham one. It was very good. He got the vials on the nails, like Freddy Krueger glove, you know.
That's
Very,
so
very
cool.
good. Yeah, it's like I said, when you put the effort in,
Yeah.
you can see people reacting to it, and they're like, "Geez, that's amazing."
You do,
It makes it worth it.
You do Arnie's Mr. Freeze.
Oh man, you could do that.
Fuck.
We'll paint you blue.
Yeah. But he was full of like LED light. He had a light inside his mouth.
There was a guy done that before at a Comic-Con here.
Oh, really?
The Riddler.
The Riddler be cool. I could do the
Riddler's a good
Riddler.
one.
Yeah, Riddler be good.
Which one though? Would you do Riddler, Jim Carrey, or the UDA one from the Patterson one? He's got a mask, man. That guy's definitely in a paramilitary.
I hated that Riddler. I wanted the Jim Carrey
I
one.
wasn't fussed. I did like the Batman movie, but
Yeah.
I didn't like the villain.
No, Jim Carrey. That's not a great movie, but Jim Carrey is a great Riddler.
He's the guy.
I loved Heath Ledger obviously as the Joker, but I also loved Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
Yeah, he was the best.
Yeah.
He was the classic. I was a big fan of Michael Keaton the whole time. A lot of questions that I got asked is, who's your favorite Batman?
I thought Michael
definitely.
Keaton was
He
up there.
was the one.
Round table favorite Batman. Yours is Keaton.
Yeah, Keaton.
No, I wouldn't say mine's is Keaton. Mine's
No.
is definitely Bale.
Bale.
Yeah.
I loved Affleck. I didn't like the movies.
I liked
but I thought
Affleck too.
Affleck was
I thought he got
fucking
unfair
great.
criticism. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was good.
The movies were shit, but he
Oh, yeah.
wasn't.
The Batman movie when I was a kid, like I think it goes back to when you're a
The
kid.
Tim Burton stuff
I
is
had
amazing.
I had all the fucking cards.
Yeah.
You got a cards with the chewing gum in it, and I
That's
done all
right,
the
yeah.
swapping
Yeah,
of them
yeah.
cards.
My
I have
aunt
them in
used to
my
give me
man's
those,
house, and like they're probably worth a fucking fortune now because I have I had a fucking paid in them, and them cards and the Batman car and fucking everything. I was just fascinated with it.
I
It was
think the
fucking
Christopher
wicked.
Nolan ones are the best films.
Yeah.
But I think Keaton is Batman. Like,
Yeah.
Keaton is great.
It's because he's the original, I guess, you know, especially for our generation growing up. He was the one. He was
Yeah.
on TV. He was just like Danny DeVito's the Penguin.
And I
yeah,
love Prince after that movie, like
Yeah.
the music, everything, because
Yeah.
it's just everything, just that movie. Just fucking loved it.
That being said, Colin Farrell's Penguin is, if you haven't seen that series, is fucking amazing.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah,
it's
very
so good.
Yeah,
Have you
it's
seen
very
the
good.
No, I
Penguin?
haven't seen it.
It's more of a. It's not a Batman show. It's a mob show.
I sort
it's
of
fucking great.
I sort of watched one Batman film after the original one that I seen in the 90s, and I'm like, I don't know.
You not seen the Dark Knight trilogy?
I haven't sat and watched them.
Watch them.
well,
They're
like the Heath
fucking
Ledger
great.
ones.
It was the
I
first
watched
of
the
its
Heath
kind. not
Ledger
the
one, yes,
typical
because I liked Heath
hero
Ledger
movie.
as the Joker, but I find it hard watching other Batman.
It's again the Dark Knight, like especially the Dark Knight, is more of a mob movie than a superhero movie.
Yeah,
I want to watch Batman versus Superman and fell asleep in the cinema watching
I'm not
it.
surprised.
It's fucking boring.
Here, the Robert Pattinson one's class.
It is good.
Yeah, it's very dark. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very good. Again, my little sister, she's got disabilities, and she's been a massive Batman fan her whole life. And that her probably her favorite one now would be Patterson. So that's why I've got the mask and I'm building up the costume to go up and visit her.
In
as
fairness,
that.
her favorite Batman's obviously you.
Oh yeah. Now for the first 6, 7 years, she didn't know it was me. She just thought her brother was a good guy who knew Batman, and he was. It came to a point my sister didn't want to see me. She wanted, but she phones me all the time. She's like, "Hello, is Batman there?" And you're like, "Okay, I'll go get him." Hey, it's Batman. That's what you have to do, you know.
That's the most Superman thing ever.
Yeah,
she thinks.
You actually are living a double life.
Even now, she knows it's me, right? She knows, and we kept this a secret. I told my mom and stuff. Don't tell her. You're going to spoil the whole reason I do this. It's to make her believe it's real. So she's met Spider-Man and stuff, and the thing is, she's a real bad habit of trying to kiss people. I love you so much, Batman. You get all this big kisses all over here. Now Spider-Man is her new favorite, so I always send him up. He gets the kisses. You know,
that's awesome.
Yeah, even during COVID and stuff, we done a lot of things like where we obviously my business as an entertainment company went to shit. You know, we couldn't do nothing over COVID, so. We done a lot of videos. We were doing video calls to kids and stuff, just giving them advice on homework and be good, or you know, you're going to jail. But it was loads of different ones. And we obviously the big hearts that we have, the staff will like get in contact with the hospice and put it out there and see if we could do some messages for some kids that maybe need a little pick me up. So I put it out to the hospice, and lo and behold, 240 names came back. 240 videos to do. So we were sitting over COVID doing all of those. Kept
How
us
does
busy.
Batman wear a mask during COVID?
I don't. I was wearing a black face mask in here, so it was just black.
Right.
So it's actually pretty scary.
I was going to say.
In the comics, he's got a full
it
mask.
It sort of makes
on.
Batman look like that magician that was giving away all the tricks.
Yeah.
The masked magician.
The masked magician, yeah.
What a deep pull that is. Oh, what
geez.
a show.
That was a good one, too.
Yeah.
I would like watching that.
I remember I interviewed you one time when I was working for Radio Falcha, and they sent me out to probably one of those like Achnagilega marches or something like that. Yeah. And I was like, and they went out and I was like, who am I? I was always dead on in the studio doing radio shows and stuff, but she sent me out as like a reporter on the street. I didn't know I was shit at it, right? And they were just like, I was like, who am I asking for a thing as politicians or whatever? They just says, get an interview if anybody, as long as it's in Irish. I was like, right. So I went up, interviewed Batman.
Get it, Chikara.
Ken Gallagher, Batman, a far.
And far Skihan Lahar.
Is it?
Or Unbatfar.
Unbatfar, yeah. Shinawad needs far.
I think
you want to translate that for the guy in the back?
You need to translate for the Protestants in there. Doesn't want you back in East Belfast. Now.
Yeah, I know. He's going to put in a good word.
This is won me over to the Irish language more than anything else. Well, Batman speaks it, so it's fine.
T.G. Carr need to do a Belfast Batman series.
Does that mean the Joker does Ulster Scotch?
Possibly.
He probably does. Probably does.
He seems to be the type. Definitely drinks in the knee breakers. Like. Listen,
Harvey Dent is fucking cross community.
I think when Batman came in, he was sort of, when I asked him the other day to do it, he was sort of like, well, do the podcast. He's never done a podcast. This is his first one.
Yeah, never.
And I was saying to him at the start, I was like, it's a conversation. We're like an hour and 20 minutes down the fucking line.
I can sit here all day.
Like I could do here doing
but that's, do you see what I mean? It doesn't belong
just flows, yeah.
We'll
I could sit doing Batman lore for another hour. Like,
big time,
I'm geeking out.
We'll go for a pint sometime. Down at Kelly's.
Do you know what?
Batman loves
Do you know what we'll do? We'll definitely do that. We'll both dress as the Joker.
100%.
And we'll go, the two Jokers go and meet the Batman for a pint.
Yeah. Sean, you have to go as the Jared Leto Joker.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like
the next
have to get the grills.
Like Tommy. And Tommy contacted me about doing the little eatery thing. Advice on where to go for a month.
You met them on the roof?
Tommy came through to me. He's like, well, all right. I said to him, you got to try this burger. He's like, yeah, you want to meet up and we'll do it? And I was like, on a rooftop? He's, yeah, that'll be cool. I was like, okay, Europa tomorrow, 1:00. Like, what do you mean? And one of the first things I ever done, walking in to get a photo shoot done on that roof in the Europa Hotel, was I walked straight up the reception. I signed my name on a disclaimer form, Bruce Wayne, and walked straight up the stairs. Away I went. And see, ever since then, 12 years ago, anytime I walk into that hotel, they may not stop it now. Yeah, disclaimer, Bruce Wayne, up you go. So Tommy and Tyrone, when we met them. It was just kind of surreal meeting them up there. The last time I was on that roof, I was a matter of inches off the edge of the roof, and we'd build it up to let kids come and visit to see Batman on the roof of a building, and then I'd come down off the roof and meet and greet and whatever, just for free, just for some like a stunt, So we done that, no harnesses, no clips, and I'm standing on the edge of that building, man, by a centimeter. Yeah, I've got a picture where my foot's right over the edge. I also hung a guy called John. He done a Joker skit with me one day up there, and John was dressed as the Heath Ledger Joker, and we're in the middle of Great Victoria Street facing each other. He's got an AK, like Comic-Con safe one. So he's AK-47, a big machete, and he's just facing me on the road. We're both jobs to walk towards each other with the traffic and all going. The videos are amazing. But we had everybody out the front of the Crown Bar going, knock us bollocks in, Papa. Give him that. Like, yeah, get him. So we up to the roof. Yeah. And I'll freak out about that moment. Just even thinking about being that close to that. My life could have ended so quick. Never again will I do that,
Oh, that's terrifying even thinking about that.
We've got some really good photos, met really cool celebrities. I once chased Morgan Freeman. I heard Morgan Freeman was in town, was on Belfast Live. He was in the movie, Lucius Fox.
Yeah.
He was the guy that built Batman's stuff. So Morgan Freeman's there, and I'm like, shit, I got to meet him. So went into the town, started at Kelly's, as you do. Had a pint, but went around 6 hours looking the guy. Couldn't find him. Got a value cab, was on my way out of town, and the guy on the radio, he's like, yeah, I got Batman in the car. Somebody comes through and goes, yeah, I got Morgan Freeman in the car. I'm like, get him. Where's he going? It's like he's just left an Indian restaurant there. 6 hours I run around that bloody town looking at him. I passed that restaurant 6 times at least. Man, he would have seen me walking past. Somebody would have went, there's Batman. Bloody Morgan would have been the best thing ever. Yeah.
I never did meet Batman that night.
I had a naan bread in my hand, and
that's thought, Nelson Mandela. That's fully Nelson Mandela.
Have you seen the one where Morgan Freeman does the thing about the long cage?
Oh yeah, very good.
Yeah.
He's kind of in it, but he's not in it really.
I know he's like, and Bobby Story decided to escape from prison that day.
It's how they say. There's a guy who does the news. I think is it U105, and he's like this weird Canadian American accent, a bit like mine. And when he says the IRA, he does all those. Or when he says the UDA or any of those paramilitary groups, he sounds so strange, And that's how. When I began, I got an off. You were saying about your friends. My friends give off to me because I speak like I'm Canadian, and I'm not Canadian. I'm obviously from Gotham.
Yeah,
but that would be the only thing I got ripped on. Would be that. I think that they can't really rip the suits,
Yeah. No, the suits, class.
It's awesome. What it does though is gives people a false identity of you. They maybe look at me and think I could fight. And I'll give you an example of this. I went to a place called Fight Academy, amazing gym with Liam Shannon.
Went to school with Liam Shannon?
You did, yeah. Right. So I've been up a couple of times in training, and he kind of found out what I was doing. I was bats and whatever. He's like, come down. We'll do. I was only up there doing weights and stuff. I wasn't fighting. He's like, come on in. We're doing a little thing with the guys. Come on down as Batman. So I walked into the room, and there's Decky Dalton, Paul Hughes, all of these guys lined up around the room. And they're all sitting in a circle. And it's like whoever walks into the middle, somebody has to get up and fight him. Yeah. And he didn't tell me that. So I walked into the middle.
And they all jumped you?
Nobody could up. All of the fighters. Not one of them get up to fight me. They obviously thought this guy is somebody in disguise. And Shanto's brought in here. And he's got to kick all our asses. I'm like, yeah. Inside, I was crapping myself. I said, there's a guy called Decky Dalton.
Yeah.
He was one of his fighters at the time. And he's like, man, get those stirrups on. So he put these things around my ankles. And he's like, all right, swing on that bar. I swung up on the bar, and he grabs one of my feet and sticks it on a hook. And the guy hung me upside down like a bat.
Yeah.
I'm sitting with these hooks on my ankles, and I couldn't get up. I'm like, the guys just left me there for about half.
That's Batman.
Yeah, in the bat suit.
That's your origin story?
That's the origin, yeah. That's the origin. The Shanto's going to get it now.
Well, listen, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you in.
Absolutely, guys.
Thank you.
How does Batman get to Gotham?
Gotham? I'm from Thornbrook, Myth. I got down the road in a taxi.
On that note, thank you very much, Batman. It's been an absolute pleasure. Brilliant.
When you go